Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Bitget and Bitget Wallets live stream today. We got an amazing panelist of guest speakers joining us today for our Memecoin Market Dynamics. We're going to be decoding trends and patterns. All right, joining me today are, of course, we have our very own Vuger, the COO of Bitget. Vuger, how are you, sir?
I am great. How are you?
Amazing, amazing. It's so good to have you join the stream. And I hear you are in my town, so can't wait to be seeing you tomorrow, my friend.
Exactly. Hello from Taipei.
Absolutely. Okay, next up, of course, we have Cici, who is the head of BD at 4Meme. Cici, how are you today?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me. And hi, everyone. Hi, every speaker hand. GM to every listener that tuning in this stream today.
Absolutely. We're so excited to have you join us today. Thank you. Next up is Jan, who is the BD manager at Pink Sale. Jan, how are you, sir?
Hi, hello everyone. I'm doing great, thank you. I'm excited to be here, have this conversation with everybody.
Absolutely. It's really good to have you here. Of course, we also have Reggie, the founder of Block Rot, right? Block Rot. It's good to have you, my friend. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's really nice to be here. Yeah, excited for the chat.
Absolutely. It's so good to have you guys join us. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. So to get started, I wanted to ask, of course, the Memecoin market has seen just explosive growth in the past year. What do you guys think are the key drivers behind this surge in interest and adoption? Let's have Reggie go start us off here.
Yeah, sure. I think this year has just been an incredible year for meme coins, and particularly watching the retail investors sort of flood in. I think it's due to a lot of conditions. One of them just being that it's a lot easier than it's ever been. We have amazing tools at our disposal for people to get set up and get started. Obviously, with meme coins, it's very frictionless. It's fun. It's entertaining to be part of a community, to get behind something. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that, people are looking for the fun speculative nature of it as well. That's obviously very attractive, particularly in the world with the rising costs of living and everything else. Some people are looking for a way out of it. And it almost feels like sometimes meme coins are a cheat code.
Yeah, definitely. Really appreciate those insights. Thank you for sharing. Cici, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think the rise of meme coin actually relied on the community. So, meme created by communities and for community. And also the comparing to before, we have the much better infrastructure for the meme creators as well to create the meme tokens, like a launchpad like Earth's for that meme. So that make it easier for everyone to access, creating tokens or, buying the tokens. And at the same time, Memecoin is a little bit different from other VC-backed tokens, right? So it will be easier for them to invest a small amount of money, but then can expect a higher returns on that. So I think this simplicity is something that happens for Memecoin to grow as is right now.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. Thank you for sharing that. Jan, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, meme coins are like a stepping stone when it comes to crypto adoption. Like personally, even from personal experience, if you exclude Bitcoin, what we see most is first tokens that people get are actually meme coins. People usually start with Doge or Shiba or something similar, and then they get into more complicated things. Because it's one thing to explain like non-custodial liquidity provision aggregator, or just to say, yeah, buy this picture of a cute dog. It's a very big difference when it comes to this. So yeah, I think that's one of the driving factors. It's very easy for beginners to understand, and then they can get introduced to more complicated things. And also want to agree with Cici here. The other part is the ease of use. I mean, I think Solana did this really well because with their standard SPO tokens, you have no coding or creativity needed, but it limits all the types of honeypots and different malicious contracts. So people don't need to know as much about crypto to get into them, because for a lot of the EVM coins, how it was in the beginning, you need to know at least a little bit before you jump in. And yeah, this made it a lot easier now. When the contracts are simpler, people can just jump in and not worry about it in the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely makes it much easier. That's a really good point you brought up. Vooger, what are your thoughts?
Uh, People who know me, they know that my narrative was always very much against meme tokens for last year and a half probably, but I'm one of those people who changed their mind during 2024. And there were two important arguments or little stories about me that made me change my mind and really fall in love with meme tokens. First, this year I was visiting Paris during the Olympics, and of course, I end up in Louvre Museum. And our guide told us an interesting story about the cultural moment and importance. He told that when Mona Lisa got stolen, Louvre Museum got most amount of visits. People came to see an empty space of the Mona Lisa, and the moral of the story is that sometimes you don't need an actual reason or you don't need an actual utility in order to create a movement and community power. And I think this answered my first question, whether all projects needs to have an utility or we can just fall in love with the meme tokens even though there's no utility. But actually there is this power and movement behind and cultural moment, and I think this is one of them. Second, and more important aspect, was that I was talking to some of my friends, and mainly Gen Z, this young generation, and they told that most of the world's wealth today are in the hands of boomers, because lifespan is long. The people who are 50 above or 45 above, still in a high position at the workforce. They're not going anywhere. They're the most holders and owners of the land and property globally. Therefore, as a Gen Z, even as a millennial, the chances of you buying your home in next 5 to 10 years is almost impossible in a traditional work schema. If you go to college, graduate, get a job, and start, collecting your credit score or point whatsoever. And this reality doesn't change in a region. It's not a local story. Whether you are in Canada or India, Southeast Asia or Europe, it is the same for all Gen Z and millennials. And I think, as both Jan, Cici, and everyone on this call mentioned, it is kind of a cheat code, or it is a stepping stone for young generation to make a bigger money or become a millionaires. And it is kind of the only opportunity to become a millionaire still in crypto, because we know with Bitcoin what's happening. There are large institutions from BlackRock to MicroStrategy buying 20,000, 30,000 meme tokens in a day. As an average day crypto user, you are not able to do that. And even if you do that, you won't see 10x or 20x in Bitcoin in such a short time, while meme tokens, you can see that happening overnight in a week or month's time. And lastly, when it comes to this meme token saga, and I was saying that probably this bull run will be run and fueled by the meme tokens, for a reason that, first of all, it is very efficient and easy to deploy. I'm sure you all saw the murder story of the United Healthcare CEO, and today some fun group launched the Luigi token, and it is how fast it could be done and easily is done. Of course, it has its own downsides. I'm sure we will discuss on this call, but again, meme tokens are becoming like a truly cultural moment and connecting people based on the narrative around that single topic rather than being very complicated. And if you look like a year and a half ago, what's happening, that mainly we will be seeing a lot of like a layer ones infrastructure with a very complicated narrative and technology that average day user didn't understand. And as Jan mentioned, today if you just tell someone, okay, this is token for Luigi, this is token for, I don't know, Trump's campaign and any other, it is much easier than for a user to understand and to invest. And also for businesses, whether if you are an infrastructure like Solana or Tron, or if you are a business like Bitget, definitely you enjoy the footfall coming with the meme tokens, and that's how everyone was like kind of connected around this, making win into win-win situation.
Yes, absolutely. Attention really is everything for the meme coins. So the returns are really unmatched. So those are some great insights. Fogar, I wanted to kick this back to you. Of course, Bitget has really been a major player, of course, in the crypto space, as we know. But I wanted to ask, how does Bitget view the rise of meme coins, and what role do you see them playing in kind of the broader crypto ecosystem moving forward?
I think when we talk about Bitget, we have like two distinct products: Bitget as a centralized exchange, and of course Bitget Wallet. Bitget Wallet is a gateway to the decentralized world, much more liberal, thousands of tokens, and almost every meme project, every interesting project in the race kind of comes through the doors of Bitget Wallet, whether it is Meow, whether it is any other token from Pepe to Doge. Community goes around and plays with along, especially in the very early stage. As a centralized exchange, we have a different ways of dealing with the project or listing as a project. For a comparison, if decentralized in a decentralized world, there are more than 20,000 tokens and project listed. Bitget as a centralized exchange, we only list around 800 projects. Therefore, every project we list are meticulously chosen with the right due diligence to make sure that it is not a scam and it's not a rug pull. When it comes to meme tokens, it is always a much harder decision to decide whether we need to list a project or a token or not, because we don't want our users to suffer, and we need to make sure that the project we list, they have a huge potential. Of course, there are some, let's say, traditional memes, whether it is kind of an example of a Dogecoin, where we already have a larger market cap, enough users, even some institutions interested, and listing that kind of a large project isn't much of a risk to community. But also, over the past year, we've been listing a lot of interesting projects with a huge upside potential. And usually we see a tendency that once a large exchange like us, like a Bitget lists a meme token, we see a huge adoption in terms of the users. Because as Bitget, we serve 45 million users, and every project we list literally opens the project doors to 45 million users. And similarly, the rates happens if the project is listed in our competitor exchanges, whether it's Bybit, Binance, OKX, any large player. And a good example to this was recently when the Coinbase listed Pepe. We saw how much it jumped in terms of both market as a volume and also price. Again, as I mentioned in the first half of my answer, as an exchange, we are definitely, or as an industry player, as a technology provider, we're always interested when we see a huge influx of a community. People who are the first time buyers or first time traders, people who discover entire crypto narrative through the meme projects. And I can add to this narrative also the rates we saw on different tap to earn games and different projects on the Tons ecosystem also, that has a similar value to an institution like us, where we see a huge influx of the users, and mainly it's the first time user who come to the industry. Therefore, I believe meme tokens in 2024 played a great role to bring more people to an industry. And it was the narrative for many years that we were talking about bringing next billion user from Web 2 to Web 3. And I think meme tokens finally doing it. It was, I think like meme tokens did in 1 year what Bitcoin was doing in 10, 14 years till now in bringing, 100 million users on the platform. Therefore, we saw a huge rate also, for example, to just give you an idea of a scale, how Solana became top 3, top 4 market cap project, just because meme tokens, there were so many projects deployed and so many people start using Solana that gave them that boost and boosted them from somewhere around 10, 12 top projects or top infrastructures to the number 4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Actually, it's pretty funny because my whole circle knows, of course, I'm in crypto, and whenever the markets are ripping, the normie friends, whenever they come to me, the most like common question they ask me is like, hey, what meme coin should I buy? It's not like, hey, should I buy Bitcoin? Or it's like, no, they just like, what meme coin should I buy? It's always their biggest question. So it's you're absolutely right with that mass adoption type of trend with meme coins. It's pretty funny. Thank you for sharing that. Now, my next question is for Cici. Of course, for meme is focused on building a strong meme coin ecosystem. I was hoping maybe you can share some of the trends you've observed in terms of user engagement and market behavior within the meme coin space.
Sure. So before we talk about the the trends and the meme coin the market behavior, we can come back to the origin why meme coin is getting very good sentiments as of now, right? So for ourselves, we think that meme coin primarily driven by three things. First is the low barriers of entry, and the second one is community, and the third one is social media attention. And actually, they have a unique ability to build very passionate communities. And we personally think the success of meme coins is mostly attributed to the active user base that actively promotes and supports the coin. And people also tend to see actual value in the meme itself, which is why popular meme made into meme coin often draw the large crowd. And because of the initial investment is low, as I mentioned earlier, they don't mind taking the risk to losing their investment to support the meme that they can relate to the potential large gains. And of course, we have a lot of industry giants like Justin Sun or Elon Musk that endorsing the memes, which can lead to the mainstream awareness around the meme coins. And it's basically the mix of strategic memes and graphing and the clever marketing as well, with the low price point that make meme coins so successful and so explosively popular this year. In terms of the trends and in terms of some market behavior that we are seeing right now, I would say that the trend has always been on active user engagement on the platform like X, on the platform like Reddit. And they always have a discussion and promotion by the meme coin KOLs, who also stand to benefit from talking about the coins and gaining a following based on creditability and super advertise on the next big meme coin. And now with the increasing mainstream adoption due to the Bitcoin boom and the US elections, we're likely to see even more activities in meme coin, and particularly to plays on current affairs as well. As of the market behavior, we're seeing more networks facilitating the growth of meme coins. BNB chain, which is the chain that we are working on building on, are very active supporting the products in their ecosystem to push the meme coin narrative as well. And we've been seeing quite a bit of success lately with our platform, gaining a very good growth in trading volumes in the daily active users, and in terms of unique token launches as well on the DeFi platform like PancakeSwap. And we're also seeing an increasingly saturated market where there's a lot of products that launches on our platform. And there was only like 2,000 meme products in early 2024. However, the number as of now has exploded to way more than that. And with the emergence of meme coin launchpad like ours or Pump.Fun, or the recent PancakeSwap Springboard, it will be so much respective benefit for the meme creator to launch their products. And we're seeing a lot of activities, and we're working hard as well to make the meme coin not only easy to create but also easy to buy and sell, so it's about both deployers and the investor at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very exciting. Thank you so much for sharing those great insights. My next question is going to be for Jan. Of course, PinkSale has worked with various projects in the crypto space. So what have you noticed about the meme coin projects you've come across, and what makes them stand out compared to, say, other types of tokens?
Well, I think this is something that we all agreed on, but one of the most important factors and something that meme coins do especially well is the community building. Like when it comes to crypto projects, community is everything. You can never overstate the power of a strong community. And like meme coins do this specifically well because, let's say, if you take, for example, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's like a marketing concept. Besides, after the first two bottom needs that are, hunger and stuff and psychological needs, the next most important need is the need to belong. Like we humans, we are social creatures. Everybody wants to belong into a tribe. They want to feel that they're part of a larger community. And this is something that meme coins do really well. Because meme coins are inherently, tokenizing cultural traits and ideas, and it's very easy for people to be able to connect to a specific idea or cultural trait. So that's why meme coins are very, very good in building these strong communities. Like most of the most powerful meme coins you see, you cannot even tell it like a normal community. It's more like a cult following. Like you see some talks, some experts linking it close to, let's say, religious views or something like this, but it is that powerful for people, that strong belief in an idea. So that's why when it comes to meme coins specifically, the community is always the most important factor. And just to give an example, because with meme coins, usually you have different types of narratives. Like one of the narratives is usually news-based. I think Vugar mentioned this earlier about the news cycle. We actually have a joke that you can tell what the current news are by the meme coins that are being deployed on that day. That's like the latest news cycle. But the other one is that some specific ideas and traits create their own narrative. So I just wanted to mention like a project called Comma, that's it was launched in Pixel like a month ago, and it's already going hugely well. And it's a meme coin based on a dog picture, of course, but they managed to build their own narrative in their own community, which basically got into the noise of the other more similar and like followers in the market. Of course, it's available on all the Taiwan exchanges. You can get it on Bitget as well. So projects like this that build their own community on their own unique ideas, for me, are always the strongest, because if you manage to push your own narrative into the market instead of just following some trend like, it's a Trump season, or it's election season, or whatever else. If you manage to do your own narrative, that's always the most powerful, because it's timeless. Like election narratives is going to last until the election's over, but after that it's gone. The peanut narrative or something like this lasts until it goes in the news cycle, but after that it declines. But if you have your own unique idea and you manage to build narrative around that, then with a strong community push, you can really make the big difference. And this is what makes the difference basically from those coins that go to hundreds of millions and billions market cap. Another important thing that meme coins do especially well is the anti-establishment narrative, and we actually seen this a lot in the recent months when it comes to meme coins. Like in the more traditional ways that projects are launched, like if you take more traditional projects, they always have their tokenomic chart is very colorful. They have a big amount for insiders, for the team, for VCs, for early back-end investors, for KOS, whatever you take it. It's always a big chunk tokens for insiders. And memecoin have traditionally done exactly the opposite. You have most of them spread to the community, to liquidity, and it's supported by the small people. They always grow from really small to big market caps. So for me, that's one other important distinction between memecoin projects, successful ones, and the traditional crypto projects. Because when you get this anti-establishment narrative, it basically helps people actually connect with the project. Like even if we take it back to the craze with GameStop craze from a few years ago, it's built on the same ideas. So in a sense, that was a similar mechanic to what the meme coins are doing now. People are tired of big players, big banks pushing them over, and they want basically to see the small guys succeed. So that's what meme coins are doing really well. You see all these success stories of people becoming millionaires from just buying some random token online, and these success stories are really fueling the adoption of meme coins and basically the adoption of the different communities.
Yeah, those are some great insights for sure. I mean, the community really is everything. So definitely spot on. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there something else that you wanted to add?
No, this was what I wanted to add. I mean, I just wanted to emphasize again that the strongest, what makes the meme coins unique are the unique narrative and basically building a strong community over this unique narrative. If you can do that, then for sure the meme coin will be a success.
Yes, for sure.
I may jump, yes, I just wanted to add one important aspect. I think not add, just emphasize what Ian mentioned. We see so many meme token projects that doesn't have much of a whale concept, or even the founders let go the most of the tokens to the market and community decides on the price, which is truly giving the power back to the community, where every token holder becomes a true shareholder and true voice of the project, and their interest and their hard work turns and makes the project great. And the way I see every in such projects, every token holder becomes like an this important part of the team. They become an employee or shareholder or uh, even owner of the project, in terms of the understand the clear connection between how hard they can work and how much money they can make out of this narrative. Basically, if you hold the project token, you have now an interest to go and promote, to share information, I don't know, create a YouTube video, make a TikTok about it, talk about it on Twitter. And this way, you know that more you amplify the project, more returns you will gain. And this is the only place where you can have such a narrative, because if you go buy Tesla stock, whatever you post on Twitter probably won't do much difference, because it's about Tesla factory workers who has an output. Or if you buy today Bitcoin and going and talking about Bitcoin, probably won't make that change. But if you are a very early stage invested in a meme project, and you go do that hard work over the months and invite more people to come and join your project or project you believed and invested, chances that you will do 10 or 20x in your initial investment are super high. Therefore, I think it is an opportunity where you can directly not only hold, but directly also influence the future of the project. Therefore, meme projects, especially the ones that doesn't have much of a large holdings by the founders, there is a lesser chance for a rug pull. It can make a huge difference in the longer run.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. And look, it's a concept that you hear a lot in the trenches, but especially with meme coins, is that you need to go work for your bag. You're gonna always hear that from people, like, yeah, work for your bag. But this is actually the true concept. Like, meme coin buyers become an ambassador for the project, and they want to see it succeed, not because of the financial incentive, but also because of seeing the community succeed. When you succeed as a team with this feeling, it's a lot more powerful than seeing just like your stock going up 10% this day. So yeah, I totally agree with what you said.
Yes, both bring up very, very good points. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. Next up, I wanted to call on Reggie. I wanted to say, of course, you just launched BlockRot. It's the world's first interactive Minecraft gaming and live streaming agent and meme coin, Brot. I want to ask, what trends can we see in the future for social/influencer AI agents?
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? So just for a little bit of background, before we launched BlockRot and the meme coin Brot, our team had been working on a VTuber app that makes it really easy for people to create content as a 3D avatar. We've been working on this for up to a year, backed by Spartan Labs. And we actually had ambitions to get into the AI agent space like next year in 2025. But obviously, we've all seen like this massive boom in interest and popularity of AI agents, particularly when it's intersecting with crypto. So we realized that if we paired our technology with AI tech, it could really level up a generation of what the AI agent space is looking like, and also the meme coin space. Because the way I kind of see it is current meme coins or traditional meme coins are almost like Web 1. It's kind of like read and write. You have a PNG, you interact with it, you show it, make memes with it. What we want to do is almost, we've talked about online cults, but online cults need like an idol. And what if you could communicate with that idol? What if you could interact with it and it interacts back with you? So with BlockRot, we launched a virtual live streamer that is 24/7 live streaming. And you can actually talk to him via our Telegram group, and he'll respond to you via live stream. So I think the next trend that we will start seeing, particularly with these AI social agents and influencers, is that this is going to start having form. We're going to start seeing 3D characters come to life. We're already seeing it with the likes of Luna and Hollow World and Limbo, and there's more and more coming. And I think the next few months we're going to see just more of these sort of virtual characters come to life, and also real-time interactivity and how the community can interact with the idol, let's call it, and how that idol interacts back, and creating this unique culture that the community can share, which Jan mentioned, right? It's kind of like this sense of belonging, being part of the moment. So a really good example about that is just last week, we were just talking in the community and someone was saying, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Blockrut had a pet? And someone was like, yeah, what if it was a Brotweiler? And then someone else was like, yeah, let's call it Brody. And then within a minute, we uploaded that lore into his knowledge base. And another minute later, he was talking about his pet Brody. And that was built by the community in real time and then responded back. And I think the future of these AI agents is going to be more like this. And we're really excited, to be kind of experimenting in this space. There's obviously no playbook in this. And it's so cool that we get to work with our awesome community to sort of like figure this out as we go. And hopefully we'll see more come into the fold as well.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's such a cool thing that happened. Thank you so much for sharing that amazing story. Now, next up, I wanted to talk to Cici here. From a business development perspective, how do you approach partnerships and growth for Memecoin projects? Like, what are some of the most successful strategies you've seen for increasing adoption and building a strong community?
Very nice question. So actually, we have a number of programs in which allow product to growth. First, we have the 4.meme Accelerator program. We serve as the intermediate to bridge partners and products to cover any gaps that they might have and help them to stay relevant and supported. And we partner with over 20 DeFi infrastructure products to provide varied kind of support to the meme products. For instance, BNB Chain is one of the key collaborators that we have. We provide traffic, we provide marketing support, and also advisories as well. Our team actually provide comprehensive incubation support to participating product in several ways. We provide advisories and collaboration support. We maintain close relationship with over 30 partners, and we serve at the connect promising meme product with partner within the BNB chain ecosystem. We also provide them with valuable guidance on varied aspects on the product's growth, including marketing, community building, and direct access to the users, to our users as well, through the campaigns that we host on social media. And the second part that we provide for them is the marketing and the PR support. We help the product to develop a strong marketing and PR strategy to reach potential investor and to build a hype within the Memecoin community. We also have the technical assistant as well. Our team offers technical assistance on several fronts, like MEV protection, tokenomic implementation, and integration to other DeFi protocols. And the last thing, which is last but not least, is about community management. We provide guidance on building and engaging with a strong and active community, which is crucial for the success of any meme coins. We also linking up them with KOLs that we have connection with, which is also a good way for them to get amplified. And this approach actually ensure that participating product have a resources and expertise that they need to launch any success, to launch it successfully, and also to make a lasting impact on the Memecoin landscape. And these days, I've seen the numbers of TikTok memes that being launched as the meme coin and achieving insane levels of viral and success. So I would say that, something that we are trying to build is something that we see the trends. We have them with the infrastructure as of now. So as of now that we have, so that combination makes a good kind of like backup for the Memecoin tokens to growth in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some great insights. Thank you so much for sharing that. So with the growing interest in DeFi, I wanted to ask, like, how do you see meme coins integrating into the DeFi space? And really, what potential do you see for meme coins to bridge the gap between meme culture and financial markets. Jan, let's have you start us off.
So first thing I wanted to mention here is that when Pixel was founded back in 2021, memecoin was much more of a dirty word than it is now. Like we actually started with the DeFi craze, and back then, basically, most of the DeFi maxis looked down upon the meme coiners as like a small niche community. But that has taken like a 100 and a full 180. So the way we see it is that meme coins are what brings new adoption to the ecosystem, and it brings new volume. So for us at Pixel, our philosophy has always been that when it comes to adoption, meme coins are usually the stepping stone for people. So most of the people we get are introduced to our platform via some meme coins. But after this, we want to basically slowly introduce them more and more into more complicated utility projects. That's why we believe that meme coins play a very, very important part in this whole cycle of projects. Because the moment people get into meme coins, they're not only getting into meme coins, they get into crypto. They want to understand more, they want to learn more, and this is an ongoing process. So the more you learn, the more complicated tokens, let's say, you would be interested into buying, and then you start learning about the other part of the DeFi ecosystem. And one important thing to say is that meme coins, they couldn't exist without DeFi. I mean, DeFi is what made it possible to have the meme coin mass adoption. It's the DeFi systems like the AMM dexes, launchpads like ours, and 4.meme, and those systems are basically what gave the tools for everyday people to express their creativity and express their ideas and values through launching and trading meme coins. So yeah, I truly believe that those two are linked together. And in the future, we're just going to see them more and more linked. And another trend we actually see here is DeFi products, and in general utility tokens, but especially DeFi products, are trying to implement meme coin mechanics and designs in order to have a bigger mass appeal. Because like a lot of DeFi protocols can be a bit complicated. Let's say it's a combination of tech tools and financial instruments that people wouldn't necessarily understand. But if you can frame it and you can give it a character narrative that's closer to a meme coin, like let's say you have a mascot or something like this, or an AI agent working behind it, then you can really get the mass adoption to the next level. And when it comes to a knowledge base, it's a lot easier to introduce it like this to people than just sending them a 50-page white paper about this complicated new tool that you made, and wanting them to just read it and say how amazing this is and jump on. So that's why this is what we really see now, and I believe that in the future we're just going to have a combination of both. Like most of the utility projects will have some meme aspect to it, just in order to get the mass appeal that meme coins have, and to help them in this community building strategies that meme coins are so good at.
Yeah, definitely. Great points. Booger, any thoughts here?
I think like everyone really resonated a lot, and one important point I think when we talk about adoption, I want to bring a different aspect. We talk a lot about retail, but also last year, like last 2 quarters actually of 2024. In my mind, we are already in 2025 and having the great bull run. In last 2 quarters, we see a lot of institutional interest, and especially as Bitget, we also launched our OTC for the large institutional clients, and we see that meme tokens are not only there for retail users who jump on very early buy and try to do the quick flips, but we see that family offices, large investors that we can categorize as the institutions, they're also keen into investing, either launching their own meme projects or investing in a successfully launched meme projects in order to make gains with the market wave. And especially now that we already saw the all-time high of the Bitcoin, and towards the Christmas and also next year's Lunar New Year for the Southeast Asia, always the market is very much volatile, and I think more and more users, not only the retail but also institutions, will be interested to see what kind of either drive they can bring to their infrastructure or project, or they can make profits by investing large sums into these like a well-established big communities that are driving the growth. Therefore, I think we also need to keep an eye on how much meme projects drive can happen, whether it is like a quick listing in large exchanges, whether it is big investors who come and buy either directly from the whales or scoop from the market, can pump the projects in a very short time. And also raising interest of institutions to meme tokens can be a good sign of them like as a meme, as an industry growing in the next 3-4 months.
Very, very exciting. Appreciate those thoughts. So, of course, meme coins have been both praised for their cultural impact and criticized for their volatility. I wanted to ask all the panelists here, what are your thoughts on the long-term sustainability of the meme coin market? And do you think it will evolve into something more than just a trend? Reggie, let's have you start us off on this one.
Yeah, I think we're already seeing that it's evolving more than a trend. You know, I think Vuga mentioned before, like he kind of was apprehensive to kind of get into meme coins. Like, I think I'm in the same boat. I didn't really, like I've been trading crypto since maybe 2016, but I kind of stayed away from the meme coin movement early on. You know, I was used to, as what Jan said, like reading the white papers and just trying to sort of extract information and seeing if this is going to be a good token to get behind. And I think Murad put it really well at Token 2049. Like a lot of it was just vaporware, a lot of it was BS, and it was launched in a way that was just not equitable for the retail investors getting in, because they're the last ones to get in and the first to get dumped on, right? So I think moving forward with meme coins, one, it's just captured everyone's attention, and we live in an attention economy. Two, it's so easy to use, both to deploy and both to invest into. And the tools are getting so good. You know, the wallet, like as I mentioned before, whether it's the wallets, the platforms, etc. So the friction's definitely reduced beyond what it's ever been. But I also think moving forward, yeah, to your point, it needs to become safer, because we've talked a lot on this chat about, you know, first-time buyers, first-time investors, but we also need to retain them. Because if they have a bad user experience, they have a bad experience first time, they might just shut the door and be like, hey, meme coins are a total scam and I'm never coming back to this. And so I think to mitigate that, we need to have projects and ways to build trust, build confidence for those people, but also to stay, enjoy themselves, enjoy the ride, and yeah, and have fun with it, right? Whether that's through their investments, whether that's through the community and the culture. I think when we launched our coin, that was really a big thing in the back of my head. We really wanted to show the community that, you know, we're going to be sticking around. This is a serious project. That's why we launched, you know, pretty cool tech from day one. We've doxed ourselves. We've shared our wallet addresses for the treasury, and really want to try and give that confidence that people can believe in us. And you know, when they do buy the token, they're investing in the entire project and its longevity. So, and I think we're going to see more of that. I do believe that it's going to become a safer space. I do think people are becoming more and more privy to some of the scams and tricks, and doing a bit more due diligence before aping in. But at the same time, like, people love that volatility because they can earn off it. So it's kind of a balancing act, and it depends what people are feeling at the time and what they want to get out of it. But I do hope it becomes a safer space, just because it'd be really fun to bring a lot more of my normal friends over, so I can you know, enjoy some memes and some tokens with them.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hope for even more mass adoption. Appreciate those thoughts. Cici, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so I think this is still very much up for debate in the industry, but I do believe that meme coins can have long-term sustainability, and we already seen this evidence from the success of older products like Pepe's or Dash. I'm confident that the meme coin market will continue to thrive, given that it's almost the monolithic field in the crypto that, you know, operate very different way from the rest of the market. I don't think it needs to involve Bitcoin like being trend-based, because that is the ascent of the memes. They are relatable trends in popular culture, and that's the way that they should stay. However, that's not like, you know, the direct way to say that meme coin can evolve to something with more utility. Of course, if you can find a good use of your meme coin, then it's resonate with your community. By all means, go for it. But utility is not a must. But it can greatly boost the legitimacy of any coin, and we of course want to encourage that. But it isn't the point of meme coins at the end of the day. I truly think that some things in life are best appreciated by the origin of it rather than their usefulness. And as a launchpad ourselves, we do see the shift and the adoption of the fair launch mechanisms by non-meme coins like AI coins or other coins as tech coins in the market. And the mechanisms works to generate the hype through the community, and the non-meme coin product can have seen success launching by platform like ours. So I'm quite positive to say that the meme coins, the meme ways of launching coins will become more mainstream over time. A couple of the products, like growing very well for launching from our platform can be named like Banana, Binance Dog, BNB Cat, and one of them actually hit the market cap over 100 million US dollar. So I'm quite positive in terms of creating the meme tokens in that way.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some great thoughts. Thank you for sharing that. Jan, what are your thoughts?
Well, meme coins are constantly evolving in this market. I personally feel that merger of meme coins and products is imminent, like we mentioned in the previous talk. But when it comes to the high volatility, this is something that we see as part of the market condition. Like high volatility brings both high rewards and both high risk. But the high volatility is actually what makes those success stories true, because what is driving the meme coin fuel is all these initial posts of a person A buying $10 into whatever coin and then making it into 6-7 figure amounts. So yeah, this is definitely one of the key driving factors behind it. This gold rush of everybody that wants to be rich. But as any gold rush, it has its negative sides as well, because if too many people flock to the gold rush, there's not enough gold for everybody. So a big portion will end up doing a loss. So in my opinion, that also platforms need to take a bit of responsibility, because we've seen some irresponsible platforms as well when it comes to launching different meme coins and how they are launched and the type of tokenomics they give and the type of engagement they want to trust into it. So, if we want to see a long-term sustainability for meme coins, I think platforms should play a bigger role, like Launchpad specifically should play a bigger role when it comes to creating that more sustainable tokenomics. Because, we are moving into phases that people want ease of access to creation. So project owners are not going to design complicated tokenomics for meme coins. They want like a preset model that is going to work as a template for them. And if that model is not sustainable in the long term, then all the products launched via that model will not be sustainable in the long term. So yeah, this is my opinion when it comes to how we can make it more long term sustainable. But when we talk for meme coins, they already have a big cultural impact. I mean, if you take, for example, let's say if you go back in time 5 years and you tell a Bitcoin maxi, it's like, yeah, we might have a meme coin ETF one day, they would laugh at you, And currently, if you say like, oh yeah, someday maybe we have a Pepe ETF, it doesn't seem that far-fetched. It's like the top 20 cryptocurrency and hit like 11 billion market cap. So yeah, I mean, the way these things evolve, it's always really interesting. It's not something that I think even the most core believers and crypto maxis can predict. So for me, that's part of the fun. I mean, it's very, very unpredictable market. So we as platforms should do our best to make it more sustainable for the future and for all the newbies. But in general, we just see where the market evolves and see how we can play our part to make it as sustainable as possible. So we make sure that we keep it for the long run.
Yes, definitely. Very, very bright future. Thank you. Booger, any thoughts here?
Of course. I think for many times we heard all these different QLs and influencers and market analytics, and even in the conferences I see around people asking all the time when the Doge gonna become $1 or when Shiba is hitting $1 price point, and economically speaking, probably never. And therefore, I always think like, what is difference between responsible business making and sustainable business making? In my opinion, especially when we talk about meme tokens, you want to come early, you want to do a pretty like a short ride and take your profits and repeat it over and over again as an experiment rather than being long time, because every technical analysis or every chart of a meme token has one of these two scenarios. Either token goes down to zero, becomes very uninteresting and very sustainable if it is like a, I don't know, 0.6 zeros and some number, or it kind of hits the ceiling and then price is again less volatile, more stable, same holders, nothing much happens. Because in both cases it is about attention economy, and whether we are scrolling at TikTok or following a hashtag on Twitter, we see that some topics grow, get a hype, and then kind of a die down. And it is not only about the cultural moment, it is about political moments, whether it is a war in a Ukraine, whether elections happening, or whether it's a Taylor Swift in a world tour. All these topics has a lifespan, and at some point they die down, or they become either they become super iconic, like a historic moment that lives forever, but less hyped. Every now and then we remember, or we just totally forget. And in my opinion, same applies for the meme tokens. You want something to hype quickly, have the right, do your profits, 10x's, 20x's, enter on time, and also exit on time. But again, I believe industry needs to kind of reinvent itself in terms of making sure that less and less we see rug pulls, and also less and less we see pump and dump schemas. And I think last week's greatest example was this hack to a girl who was just randomly got famous with this TikTok, and then she did her meme project in 20 minutes from $500 million went to 60 million market cap. A lot of people lost their monies, and now she's facing lawsuit and every other aspect that whatever could go wrong went wrong, kind of a story. Therefore, in my opinion, next big moment for meme wave and how meme tokens or meme projects can evolve itself is having this public watchdog, also understanding what is the bad projects and where not to invest, what is a potential rug pull, whether it's a project having one too large investors or inventors who hold most of the tokens, or whether it is a project that is easily deployed, easily detached. Most of the cases, also people try to bank on other people's success. There are so many projects about memes that people don't own it. They're not the inventors. They just ride the wave. And most cases, even the inventors don't have an understanding what is happening on their name. Therefore, in my opinion, it is not about being sustainable. It is about being more responsible and more ethical. I think ethical project making should be the next big topic that we continuously push and discuss. And in my opinion, one of the important aspects to this ethical project making could be that we force the founders and people behind the project to be transparent and tell who they are and take the responsibility. Because in so many cases in our industry, I know we always talk about privacy, but most cases that we don't know where the projects come from, who is behind, even from the contractual and like a data point of view, we can't track, and it makes the rug pulls very, very easy. Therefore, in my opinion, more than sustainability, we need accountability, transparency, and responsibility when it comes to projects. Because at the end of the day, if you talk about giving power to a community should hold the power, not some investors or not some project makers who try to kind of a scam entire community.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I think if the founders can take initiative and do that, that would really clean up the space quite a lot. So hopefully that will be the case for a lot of people moving forward. Let's see what happens. Appreciate it. All right. Well, that about concludes the questions that I have prepared, guys. Do you have any remarks that you'd like to share with our audience? Perhaps that we didn't touch on, or that you would like to share with the Bitget fam, or just last remarks, maybe you guys can share your thoughts here. Maybe Reggie can go first.
I don't have too many final remarks. I think this has been an awesome chat, and I just want to say thank you to the other panelists. It's really awesome to hear their insights. I think we covered a lot of really important topics. I think that what Vugal was saying at the end, about responsibility and being ethical is so key, right? Moving forward, like the safer we can make the space and the more fun we can make it, which is what we're trying to do with the interactivity and the avatars, the more people are going to come. It's going to become entertainment. It's going to become more mainstream. It's going to become more normalized. And I look forward to it because it's a really fun space once it's safe and you can play in it.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for taking the time. Cici, any last remarks?
Sure, not that much, but like some people may view meme coins as the speculative or not that real world application. But I think that meme coins actually showcase blockchain ability to unite individuals worldwide. They have the principles of fairness, decentralized, and inclusivity. So I think that's the phenomenon serves that the power of transformative potential of cryptocurrency. So whether you're building a tech-oriented altcoin or meme coins, the path forward relies on leveraging the blockchain technology to create a meaningful and inclusive community. So keep building on that, keep make memes great again, and do follow us on our social media for any updates in the future.
All right. Really, really appreciate it. Jan, any last remarks?
So I want to thank you for having me here, and it's great to talk with so much like-minded people. And I really think that meme coins have proven that they're here to stay, and we can see very bright future for the meme coin market. Just to agree again with Vogel and what he said on the last point, that yes, I think that really project owners should take a bit more responsibility, and especially when it comes to sustainable tokenomics, the responsible tokenomics for the future of the ecosystem. But I also want to urge people to learn more and always expand their knowledge base, because crypto is such a vast ecosystem. So the more you learn, the more informative decisions you can make. And we shouldn't always rely on people telling us the truth, but we should always think for ourselves. So my urge is to all the investors out there, just keep learning, keep checking how the markets work, how the cycles work, what new projects are bringing, so you can personally expand your knowledge base and become better and better traders when it comes to meme coins and when it comes to crypto in general. So I think a lot of platforms are doing this well, but for me that's also the key when it comes to the future of crypto. Is we as platforms need to help this expand this knowledge base and help people who are just coming in have the actual knowledge so they can make the best decision possible.
Absolutely right. Yeah, really appreciate those amazing insights. Of course, Vuger, last but not least, any last remarks?
Definitely. First of all, thanks for everyone joining today, and thanks for everyone for listening to us. Definitely, if you are keen and these talks made you excited about meme projects, head to Bitget wallet and explore a lot of options out there, but still do your own research and never buy projects because it might go up or down, but buy especially memes because you are in love with them. Definitely, if you want to play it safe, still you can explore more options in Bitget as a centralized exchange. There are many opportunities to do next 10 and 20 X's. But I think it will be very fair to conclude, talk about meme tokens, that it is a very high risk asset, and always invest the amount that you are ready to lose. Of course, if you gain, you can become the next city legend who put $10 and became a millionaire over the night. But also, to be very fair and frank, these kind of stories are very limited, and chances that it only happens to a friend of a friend is very high. Therefore, only invest the amount that you are ready to lose. Otherwise, don't take the calculated risk. I think that will be my final remark to everyone. Never invest an amount, especially in a meme project, that neither if it doesn't resonate with you, or if it is a higher jump than you could handle, then it is better not to do it, and it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Those are some great tips to finish us off. Thank you so much, Vuger. And that is it from us, guys. Please be sure to go and follow the projects that our speakers here are behind, such as 4Meme, Pinkcell, BlockRot, of course, and Bitget. A lot more great crypto insights coming your way. That is it from us today, guys. We'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. And